The following is a Xander brand podcast presentation. Although subjects, topics, and featured people are screened, all thoughts, actions, opinions, endorsements, mentions, or other statements are being made from the people featured and do not necessarily reflect those of the Xander brand digital family, or cast and crew of the Xander brand digital family.
Oh, it's recording again. Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, because when I was on my laptop, it would always ask me, or like it would tell me beforehand that, hey, this is recording. But now it's just like happens. I mean, well, there's a thing in the corner, but still it's not immediately noticeable if you're not familiar with Zoom.
Yeah, I don't really use it either. Oh man, my lamp. All right. So wait, what's the is this getting the shovel? Is what this was called?
This is called the gaming thing.
It's just called the gaming thing.
I don't even know what was getting the shovel. Oh no, that was because we were like playing games and we were doing getting the shovel. This is just like I guess this is just supposed to be a podcast. I guess we're not actually playing games, which is weird because I don't even know that much about games. It's just like when me and Xander were doing something together, I just kept bringing up video games because he wanted to talk about politics, and I was just like, screw that.
Politics. Yeah. All right, so hey everyone, welcome to the Gaming Thing podcast. I'm Aidan. Maybe you know me as Fruit. It's on the Xander brand merch now, apparently. And I'm here with Zeke Dilligat today. How you doing, Zeke?
Doing all right.
All right, cool. So I think the Gaming Thing podcast right here, I believe now we're just supposed to be talking about games because I don't.
Seems that way.
Yeah, because Xander didn't even really. Yeah,
we don't have any notes for this one because we all kind of forgot, so we're just trying it, seeing what happens. I guess
not really any guidance, so maybe it's better this way because you can talk about what you want to talk about. So
yeah,
I guess all right, let's start out with this as an icebreaker to the gaming thing. What do you think the best game of 2020 was? Because now we're in a new year.
Best game of 2020. I'm trying to remember if I literally played any games that came out in 2020.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you probably have heard of some.
I've heard of plenty. Yeah. I need to message somebody. Give me like, because I didn't even watch the Game Awards. Like my partner watched the Game Awards, but I was working. I got the message about Sephiroth, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously, I think the biggest games. I mean, okay, if there are the top 3 biggest games that were of 2020, that would be Among Us. Obviously, people
that
needed
come
something.
Out in 2020. It was big though.
Yeah. It didn't. Yeah, it didn't come out. It
came out blew up in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it came out in like 2018 or something. But then it got big in 2020. So I'd count it as a 2020 game. And
I mean,
also,
the Game Awards certainly did. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I'd also count. Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. That one was
That is, yeah. We did some discussing of that on the other podcast. It's a very big game, but not a very good game from a lot of people's perspective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I think Cyberpunk. Like sometimes somebody asked me if I wanted to play it, if I could get it, if I wanted to play it, and I was like, I don't know. But I think part of the game, like right now, it's because all the glitches and stuff. That's kind of what making cyberpunk right now. Until they, Wait, why?
I think it seemed to me like even aside from the glitches, the actual gameplay wasn't really like. They didn't really deliver on what they promised. From some like perspective of a friend I have is sort of how he feels about it.
The glitches. Well, that's kind of why the community they love it and hate it because of the glitches right now.
Yeah.
But it's what makes it funny, you know. Like you see all these glitches of like the cars. I mean, like cars just running into walls. People, I don't know. Then there's I've seen some of these comparison videos, right? And they're comparing these like Cyberpunk, just the physics of Cyberpunk to physics of other games like Red Dead, Red Dead 2, Skyrim, GTA, and stuff like that. They even did. I saw one yesterday where they did a comparison of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, of like the physics of that versus Cyberpunk, and San Andreas had better physics, which is kind of sad.
That's actually my partner's favorite GTA game.
Yeah, I always my favorite game of all time is Red Dead Redemption, and like both of them. I've played those like multiple times, like a whole lot, probably too much, but yeah. What's your favorite game, Zeke?
I guess I'm gonna go with Dishonored.
Dishonored.
Probably. I really like Dishonored. Yeah, because I've played. I mean, in terms of like the game that I've played start to finish the most, probably that. I mean, the game that I've probably put the most hours in would be Warframe, because I like Warframe, but I don't know that it's just like it's one of those games that you play for a long time. But Dishonored, I love Dishonored. It's just a really fun game for me, because it's very sort of free form, and I really like the mechanics, and like the I think the stealth is fun, and the sort of like parkour, and the way you can approach every situation from like a different angle. Like I've played it so many times, but I played a different way every time.
Yeah.
Because you have so many different ways of getting to your objective in each mission. Like, and the crazy thing is though, like I have all three Dishonored games, but I still haven't beaten Dishonored 2, because I think that like Dishonored 2 is not quite as good. I am more interested in Death of the Outsider, which comes after that. It's sort of a spin-off, but also sort of a sequel. So I'm like waiting to get around to finishing Dishonored 2, and then I can play Death of the Outsider to actually get into that. But it's just like I barely even play video games. Like I mostly just play modded Minecraft with a couple friends.
Modded Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play some modded Minecraft. Like I think I was gonna get. My friend had like a realm he was gonna make, and he was gonna mod it, and he was gonna get. I think he was gonna get like the gun mod and maybe like the girlfriend mod or something like that onto the realm, and so I tried to download the gun mod, but instead I got like 15 viruses because I couldn't get the gun mod right.
It used to be pretty complicated back in the day, but now it's pretty simple. You just download like one program, and then it just installs the mod pack for you, and you run it. Because I pay for a server for modded. It's only like me and like 3 other friends. Or I mean, right now we're playing Valhesia 2, which is just a massive mod pack. So it's literally only 2 of us can actually even run the thing, because we're the only people with good enough computers. But it's just so fun that we're just messing around with it, because we started out doing Sky Factory for a while, and then we sort of like got to a point in that where we were like done, like where we like did all the things that we could do. But now that this is an actual like thing with an overworld where we can get to like build buildings and explore a bit more, then I think this is going to be a bit more long term. But it's literally just like me and one other person, or maybe there might be, because we started it like yesterday, but it's really cool. Like literally he was messaging me earlier trying to like call me and get me to play or whatever. I'm just like, nah man, I'm busy.
Yeah, still maybe I'll try modded again. I don't know, but I don't want to. I'm trying not to get any computer viruses. Like I had this one virus I probably got from like a year ago, because one of my friends sent me like a Discord link to I think I was trying to get like Lego Indiana Jones for free. I don't know what I was thinking, but of course it was a virus. So I don't guess I ever really gave a third game that was like a 2020 game. I guess I can't really
what even?
Think of one.
Literally, what even happened? Because I play like just completely random games. Like I mean, as far as like 2020 goes, I don't even think there was anything that I was interested in or excited about or whatever. Like I paid some attention to the news of or just like the release of The Last of Us 2. I didn't even play Last of Us 1,
Yeah.
but my brother-in-law did, and it's one of his favorite games. And Last of Us 2, it's a very interesting game. Like the whole controversy around it, and all the like how like the story was literally like released, like leaked a week before, and then people just blew up and just like destroyed the story. And then like that put like a lot of like a bad spotlight on the game. And then like when it actually did come out, so many people were just like complaining about that. And then but then it seems to me like there's also just a lot of really good moments about that game. Like the animation looks beautiful, and just like the character scenes, and just like I don't know much about the actual gameplay itself, but I heard that was decent. Just people just like destroyed the story, like they just hated it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, the graphics, like the gameplay itself, the mechanics. I think those are pretty good, and they would have gotten more recognition if the story.
That game did actually get like Game of the Year, I think, right?
I think it did get
top of my head. Yeah, like I said, I didn't watch it. There's just a couple of facts that I picked up on from conversations.
Yeah, which of course that getting that as Game of the Year got people really mad.
Very controversial, I imagine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so the first game was all about the main character. His name is Joel. The outbreak happened. He lost his daughter, and then like 20 something years later, whatever, he gets like a second chance with Ellie and stuff as his daughter. And so then really the whole first game is just them building up the relationship, and you can see that it's just like it's really immersive, or you can just really like feel for Joel and stuff, and Ellie. And then the last game, or the second game, just kind of like threw all of that away, which is why people really hated it. Yeah. People also were like, there's something about people didn't like the LGBTQ representation in it, but I don't really see why that's even a problem. Because
I don't know, gamers suck sometimes.
It was one more thing to get the give it a bad reputation. But I do kind of agree that the story was not. Maybe if it was a standalone game, like if Last of Us 1 had never happened, it probably would have been a whole lot better. But then, since it's following up something that was as great as The Last of Us, then that's just
couldn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably another 2020 game. I guess there was that Marvel Avengers game that people.
The only thing I've ever really seen from that game is I forget what I think I was playing like a mobile game, and I got an ad, like the same exact ad for that game, like a dozen times. Yeah. And I was just like, well, I hate this game now, so I'm not even gonna think about it.
Yeah, that game itself kind of just looked like a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the ads and stuff for it. I can't really think of anybody I know who bought Marvel's Avengers. Like, I think it's kind of the same with Watch Dogs Legions. Like, I thought I wanted to buy Watch Dogs Legions, but then I kind of just saw some reviews on it, and I was like, everybody was saying it was all boring and stuff.
Mm.
And then I saw like,
yeah, because I definitely heard a lot of like interesting things about that game, like before it came out, or like as it was like from the promotional stuff. Like it seemed like really interesting, all the mechanics of being able to like how like everyone is a playable character or whatever. That seemed kind of interesting. But I mean, I can imagine it being kind of boring.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. For like doing all the. I mean, I didn't, because when I heard about that, I was like, now there's no way like any NPC that you see, because like if it's like that where you could recruit anyone, there's got to be some sort of catch. And I think the catch was like people were saying if you were recruiting someone, the missions that they had you do for them to make them join the resistance or whatever, they were just all the same. Like you got to break in.
It's really repetitive. I can imagine.
Break in somewhere, like rescue someone's friend or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, imagine that's kind of repetitive. But yes, those are probably the games of 2020, I guess.
Seems that way. I need to check something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or actually, you might know. Does the Zoom call record the names?
What do you mean record the names?
Because like how it says our names on the camera. It probably doesn't. I'm just genuinely not sure. Because I have like a visual idea of like seeing other Zoom call videos and it showing the names, but that might be because the videos are like the Zoom call exists within the universe of the video and it's not like something that was recorded within Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Recorded like outside of Zoom. If that makes sense. So
you mean just like a little thing on the bottom left corner?
Yeah, how it says our name on the camera.
Yeah,
I'm just
do you not want it
about that?
Name?
I don't care either way. It's just if it does, then I feel like I would have to talk about that because it's funny because that's not my name.
Oh,
yeah.
The Thomas Glon.
Yeah, that's a character. That's a character from my favorite book, and I used to mess with Xander with that. I don't think it'll show the name.
Glon. Yeah.
No, so it doesn't show the name in his full force thing. But so just check that real quick. Yeah, Thomas Glon is from a book named or called Pan by Knut Hamsun, I think. I think is how you pronounce that. I know it's by. I know that's yeah. It's like I haven't read it in forever, but it's a very strange book, and I don't know whether or not he thinks it's my name. I guess he'll find out now that it's certain it's not my name. I just sort of thought about that because this is the first time I've noticed that it says that in the corner, and I wanted to see like if that's a thing or not.
Yeah. I remember for a long time I didn't know Xander's name was actually Joseph because he always just went Xander Simpson. Then I found out he actually told me one day that his name is actually Joseph Alexander Simpson. And I think
he said he like wanted to be more referred to as Joseph like from now on.
Yeah, he does now.
Anyway, he's probably going to cut all this out unless he just doesn't notice it at all.
Yeah.
we should get back to talking about video games.
Right, video games. Right, what do you got to say about? Say something about video games.
Because like so as far as video games go, I'm more into like the conceptual stuff and like the art of video games because I don't pay a lot of attention to specific video games or to like because I like to buy video games, but I like to try video games. I like to get the more unique stuff and sort of like see what sort of interesting mechanics people are working with and see like experience sort of the ideas that people have as far as that goes. Because I've really like it's very hard for me to find a game that I really enjoy playing for like a long period of time. But I definitely like there's so many games that I have enjoyed playing. I just only play them for like 2 hours and I'm like, well, I get the gist of it and this was fun. I just don't feel like playing the whole thing unless I get like really invested in the story or something. Like my partner keeps telling me to finish Valhalla, the VA11 Hall A or whatever. And it's like it's really good. And I was just like thinking about it yesterday. Like I still remember a lot of that story. But I only played it for like 2 hours, but it was really good, and it's one of their favorite games. But I just haven't gotten around to finishing it yet because I just like I don't know, it doesn't come into my mind when I'm like sitting down to play a game. If I'm like sitting down to play a game, I'm probably gonna open up like Slay the Spire or something.
Yeah.
Just do like a couple runs of that, or I've been getting really into SteamWorld Heist. And I started SteamWorld Quest. I streamed SteamWorld Quest yesterday. Because I started streaming here and there, streaming Minecraft, and then just like we'll try out this other game and all that stuff because it's fun to stream, but just haven't done it a whole lot.
Yeah, I remember my friend and I, Logan, already used to stream a lot when we when I don't know when that was kind of back when we were in school, because then we had viewers from the school that would watch for maybe a few minutes or so, but yeah, then they kind of just headed out. But still, it's cool to get that like feedback from the live stream.
Yeah, it is super weird streaming by yourself. Like I'm lucky to have like there's one person who really likes watching my Minecraft stream.
That's good.
And they're usually there, and sometimes like another person will pop in, but not that often.
Yeah. So if you're kind of like into like the concepts and like the art behind the games and stuff, like how much better do you think, just graphics in general are gonna get, let's say maybe in like 5 years or so?
I think we've hit a plateau, or if not, we've like approached it, because like, the leap from 8-bit to 3D was so massive, and then as like we started to develop more polygons and people started getting better at like doing that, like, because it requires a hell of a lot of work to have like a really high depth, like extreme, like really photorealistic video game, and some people like they pull it off, but they're like it's a massive budget, and we've seen sort of a like a return to like a more simplistic styles, because I think people are getting a little tired of the, because like the really high like graphic like or realistic 3D animation, like it has like an uncanny valley if it's not done well enough. And so like a lot of people sort of prefer that more simplest like cartoony style compared or put together with like a really just a fun, just enjoyable game. Like that's made like a resurgence. So I don't think we're going to see anything that's like this is the most realistic, this is the most like that's not much of a selling point anymore, because there are so many games that already look just beautiful, just look amazing, and like it's still like awesome when that happens. And the fact that like computers are getting better and they're more capable of producing those sort of effects, but at the same time, like the average consumer isn't going to have a computer that's that powerful, or isn't going to want to spend thousands of dollars on a console that's just because that console is going to be able to produce just like have a higher render distance, and like all of the buildings are going to have actual like modeled fucking desks and like paintings all inside them. And it's just like because if you wanted something realistic then I mean that's what you would have to do, like if you wanted to be extreme about it. And I mean there's certainly a lot of like art projects that are like that, where it's like a extremely realistic like building where it's just like every little detail is there, and it's certainly very interesting and very like technically impressive, but at the same time that's not what makes a game like good anymore. That's not what makes it like impressive or like enjoyable to play. It's just like if it fits with the narrative that you're going for, like if you want like a grounded story or like a realistic sort of story, then it's important to have that. But at the same time, some people just want to have fun.
It's like right now, like if you're gonna go, like if a company's gonna go for these like for realistic graphics, like they've got to go for it, and they've got to do it like they got to do it really well. Because if it's still just like even somewhat not as impressive as something else that's already out there, then they're not gonna get all the recognition for it.
Yeah, or it's just gonna get like made fun of. You get stuff like Mass Effect Andromeda, where they didn't like where all of the facial animations were like messed up because they just like because they were all like or the majority of them were like procedurally generated, but like the system wasn't built very well, and it just like it just didn't look good. They all looked like it just looked wrong. That all the whenever any character was talking, it didn't look good. But then like if you did a similar sort of thing on a more cartoonish character, like they can just move their mouth up and down and it doesn't matter. We don't have that sort of like that uncanny valley isn't there anymore, because it's not as much of a deal. Like the closer you approach the realistic like actual, especially with people, like computer animation, the just as a society, like we've struggled a lot with making people. That's why a lot of like animated movies and stuff, they use like cartoony like animal characters or like monsters or whatever, because it's like you could tell the story of Monsters Inc. with people, like, but it wouldn't look good because during that time we just couldn't make computer generated people that looked normal, so we had to have these crazy monsters or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, you look at what
where, like, all that comes from.
Yeah, like, look at what was popular in 2020, Minecraft, Among Us, Fall Guys, that's just all kind of cartoonish games. And
people just want to have fun again. People just want to have fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
If there's like a little glitch in, like, Fall Guys or something, I mean, that's just, there's not huge standards or expectations of Fall Guys. So it's just kind of, that's just kind of a funny part of the game. Whereas versus, Cyberpunk, it was hyped up to be, this really, like, the best game you've ever seen. And then to have it come with all these, it just, kind of mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot more just kind of like arcade or party games that are going to be coming out more, because developers are seeing that that's kind of what people want now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. All right. I think we've been going for about a little over 30 minutes, I think, because I didn't really want to rush it, but I had kind of had something. I got to go somewhere in a little bit. But you have any like closing remarks or anything?
Not really. I don't know. Video games are cool.
Cool.
Video games are cool. I mean, like, this is a strange thing for me to be on, because again, like, because this is not a gaming news podcast, because I don't pay attention to gaming news. I like I said, because I pay attention to the more conceptual ideas, and like the because I like to watch because I watch like other YouTube videos that are about games, but on a more like because I really like Polygon's YouTube videos. Those are really good, and they're usually about like the ideas behind games and like what developers did to make a certain game the way that it is. And I mean, there's plenty of games I could talk about, and as far as like stuff that's really interesting. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and close it, and we'll see how this goes, and
all right,
again, because it's cool to talk about games or whatever. Yeah,
it is cool to talk about some games. So I guess that's it for now, guys. Just for this podcast, this is just the first episode of it's the first episode of the gaming thing. Want to give a round of applause to Zeke here for being a good I guess a good co-host or something. I don't know if I'm hosting it or not, but we're both co-hosts, I guess. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Let's get the cat cam. Is the cat still there?
Oh, the cat is not here. The cat is gone.
All right.
Oh, the cat is down there. Hold on, let me see if I can.
There's Tiger.
Yeah, my room's a mess.
Yeah. All right.